car, kind of because of the engine type and all of that. So you have the 4-cylinder ones, you have the 6-cylinder, stuff like that. You have the open loop for some buses, the non-sequential, the sequential, all of that. So each car, yes, has to be matched with a suitable kit.
Okay.
So yes, those government agencies, yes, we've begun to receive their lists, and we've started getting verified centers, sending our verified centers this list to begin to convert. So yes.
Right. Okay. So how has the initiative been so far? Before we dive into the safety regulations.
So far. A lot of people, funny enough, have been very have actually accepted it. People are eager, especially when you speak about it and you explain how it works and all of that. And then you find people who actually go out of their way to request for it. I've had people stop me. There was a time that I was literally stepping out of the bus, and the bus is branded. It's like branded, you can't miss it. And a young lady stepped up to me to ask, how she could get her car, converted and all of that. So I explained. I gave her a couple of centers in Lagos that she could, go to, that were verified by us.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, people, the reception has actually been good. Yeah.
So how many cars would you say maybe have been converted? How many buses still have been provided? If we're talking about CNG buses or, tricycles.
Yes.
How many?
I don't want to give you wrong figures,
okay,
but I know that we sent our buses to Oyo State. We gave out in Lagos. We gave out in Abuja, Ekiti, Kogi. And we're still moving to other, regions as well, right? Now, tricycles, we also, launched. I'm sure it was in the news. Like, a couple of people heard a few weeks ago, and it was even for the youth, kind of like an alleviation thing, So, in terms of how many vehicles have been converted around, we've done over 1,000. And we haven't even begun to scratch the surface, because our directive is about 1 million. So we are still work in progress. Yes.
And that's why I asked the question. I think that's for 2027. But I know for 2024, the president said about 2,700 buses and, tricycles will be launched. And that's why I asked.
Yeah. So we're still on it. We are still on it. Trust me.
Okay. So where can cars be converted? Because this is another question, people ask. It's not the same, when, you're just going to the mechanic to fix your, gasoline car. So for persons who want to convert their vehicles, where can they convert it? And how many conversion centers do we have in Nigeria? And maybe then we come to the Southwest.
So, what we did to try and make things easier was divide into regions, right? So you have the north, you have the southwest, you have south, and then you have the southeast, right? Just kind of divided it that way so that we could now focus. You have different regionals who focus on conversions and then, send back reports and all of that. Now, I would say that in terms of the number of conversion centers that we have across the country, almost 250 verified. You have, yes, so between 200 and 250. And don't forget that we are confirming and verifying centers literally every day and every week. So we're updating the lists. Do you understand? So at the top of my head, because I know that, today's already Tuesday, I know that my colleagues have already checked out some. So apart from regionals going to check out centers, we have the technical guys who go there. We already know what to look for. As a regional coordinator, I know what to look for. I know the standards that we want. I know what to ask for to see. But then we still go back just so that things are done properly and no stone is left unturned. We have the technical team who actually go there as well to now confirm, to say, yes, this site has been, checked out, verified. You have pictures, you have technical sheet reports, and all of that. Everything for that particular center, so that there is no story regarding it. Safety is key, as you know. Safety is key. And now, for any center to even begin to convert or partner with us, they also have to get an NEDC certification. And that body is they don't play. There's some certain standards. They'll come and check your center out before they even issue you out any certificate. Verifying that you are certified to convert any vehicles at all. So in terms of regulation and all of that, yes, we have SON on board with us and all that. So yes,
we'll still come to regulations because that's also an important conversation. But would we say that in all states of the country, are there conversion centers in all states?
No, not yet. We are still expanding, not in all states yet.
Okay, so what states do not have the centers?
The conversion centers. Yeah. So across board, you would have a few in. I know we just launched in Calabar. So Cross River, I am not sure. We have a couple of places that we're still expanding to. So it'd be difficult to start pointing out to say, yes, this state doesn't have, because we're still expanding. And don't forget that this initiative, yes, is new, but we're expanding and we're moving.
Okay. But what about in the Southwest? In what places do we have that?
Do we have?
Yeah.
We have in Lagos. We have in Oyo State. We have in Ogun State. We have in Ekiti.
Okay.
We are looking to launch in Osun and Ondo.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have, out of the 6 states in the Southwest, 4 have begun conversions.
Okay.
Yes. 4 states. Yes.
4 states.
And I'm talking at least 3 to 4 conversion centers in a state. Lagos is you have a lot of.
How many in Lagos? Because there's still persons who ask, where can I convert my vehicle? And you're asking because you want to be safe.
Yes,
you do not just want to go anywhere.
So I thought of that just when I was walking into the studio, and I thought, I should have actually had the the list, the complete list. Of the conversion centers. So what we're going to do, I can promise you that what we're going to do is we're going to upload it probably on our website, so that when people click each region, they can see the verified centers that are there and available.
Right. Okay, so let's come to the issue of safety, because that's the very important one, right? People have been asking questions after they saw the explosion in Edo, right? In Thailand as well, where they talked about that. In Malaysia, they're saying, okay, in 2025, they're trying to phase it out. And people are saying, okay, if people are trying to phase out, why
are we introducing it?
Exactly. And so how safe is it, for Nigeria? Because persons have talked about the hot weather conditions and having CNG powered vehicles, using that in the country. How safe is that?
So, trust me when I say that we would not be introducing anything to the citizens if it wasn't safe. You know what I mean? It could affect any one of us. So why even do that? Let me explain. Let me even start from the beginning. The whole reason for that initiative, or for this initiative, for commerce, for, like I said, transportation, to ease that burden, because it became worrisome. Trying to buy fuel for 1,000 plus. How much? Think now. Let's bring it down to the regular commercial driver, the taxi man. When he buys fuel for 1,080, 1,100, depending on what station he goes to and what Independence is selling. How much is he going to carry his passengers for? How much is he going to make to take home to his family? You find out that the standard of living dips even further, and that's the major concern. And that's why the whole idea of this whole exercise was for the commercials, and that's why we're doing it for free for all state commercial vehicles. So NURTW, RTN, state owned, for free.
That goes for free. So
For
if
free.
I am a commercial driver and I
Yeah.
have a bus and I want to convert.
Commercial driver, you have a boss, you have an ID to identify you as a member of this NURTW association,
Okay.
and everything. Your vehicle will be converted for free. The only thing is you come there to a verified center. I need to keep stressing that.
Okay.
No cutting of corners. The verified center, they will assess your vehicle and give it a pass, if it's suitable for conversion. If there are any prevailing conditions that your vehicle has and all that, they'll ask you to sort it out, maybe fix this, fix that.
Okay.
Come back, bring your car back, your details are sent to us, we confirm, we approve, because like I said to you earlier, a kit is spared to a particular car based on the makings of car characteristics, the engine type.
Okay.
So those kits are based on that. So I'm not going to use a 6-cylinder kit to convert to 4-cylinder. It's not going to. We don't want issues like that.
Okay.
So all of those things are paired, and we send back to the conversion center and say, approve, go ahead. So they call you back, maybe a day or two later when the approval has come in, call you back and ask you to drop your car for conversion. Conversion takes about a day.
Okay. So when you say 4 conversion kits or cylinders, or you talk about 6, what do you mean?
So I'm talking about your engine type.
Okay.
Yeah, some engines have like 4 plugs, 6 plugs,
Okay.
those turbo. Yes, so it's all of that. So we have kits for all of those. We have to make provision for all of those different type of kits.
So can you convert any car into a CNG powered vehicle?
Basically any car.
Any car. Right. Okay. Still talking about the safety now. For Nigerians, it then seems like hybrid, because you're still using.
Yes.
So
so that's
your
the
fuel.
good thing about it.
Is it a good thing?
It is a good thing, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
When we convert, right, you have the kit that is fitted into your car, right? It doesn't do anything to the fuel system. It's there. So imagine that you're sitting in your car, you can see your dashboard, you can see your fuel gauge. Below there's an electronic unit that's fitted, just right there, and it's just like a gauge, almost like a knob,
Okay.
like a gauge. So with dots to show you, when it's full or when it's empty, and that's it.
For that of the CNG as well?
That of the CNG.
Okay.
Now I'm referring to the CNG now. The car, your everything's on your dash. Remember, and that is fitted there. Your kit is fitted in, and then it's just connected to your cylinder, which is probably fitted into your trunk, and it's fitted. And what happens is, it is welded. It's like a stand or something is created on there so that your cylinder is sitting comfortably there. It's not shaking. It's not moving, right? And then it's connected. Now, picture this: you are driving from Lagos to Osun State, yeah.
Right.
So you fill up your tank, right? CNG, and then of course you have fuel, you have petrol in your tank as well. You're going on and everything, you move, and of course your CNG is, your gas is reducing, right? Remember, and then you run out. So maybe while on your trip, on your journey, you run out of gas. The car doesn't stop you. You don't get stranded. Your car is hybrid. So what happens is, you would literally hear like a click.
Okay.
And your car switches from CNG to petrol, just like that. Automatically. You don't even have to stop your car to start to, crank your engine again. No. You're just going.
Okay.
So you never get stranded. So that's the good thing. And then when you now get, to the next station where you can fill up and then switch back to CNG. So that way you're saving, because you're paying less for CNG. It's better to run on it and then have the PMS, the petrol, as a backup.
Okay.
That's just it.
So if I want to totally take off that of petrol, can I?
Would you want to do that?
No, I'm just asking because I spoke with a CNG expert, and he mentioned it could be maybe more dangerous if you have hybrid, the petrol and then the CNG. If we're talking about,
did he give the reasons why it would be more dangerous?
Yeah, he said again, the weather condition, right? That and having both, he just explained that having both, together, it's safer if you have, just the CNG, rather than, having both. It could maybe be more dangerous.
I'm wondering why. I mean, you said he's a CNG expert, so hey, maybe he knows stuff that I don't. But I mean, I'm thinking now, based on what I know and what I've seen, your cylinder is right back there in your trunk. Do you understand? It's not even near your fuel tank or anything near your engine. So I'm wondering why. Okay. Because we have experts who run conversion centers. Do you understand what I'm saying? In fact, any DDC that's like a regulatory body as well has a center, an NADC center in Ekiti, functional, where they train people to become CNG conversion experts. So I'm wondering why. I mean, people have their own opinions. Maybe he's experienced something else that I don't know or that we don't know. But it'd be good to
I remember he pointed out the fact that the weather condition and for your CNG when it's installed, it needs ventilation. He mentioned that, and I think that's why he said maybe it's better in the trunk. So where is it better? Because we've seen some under the seat, right? And some in the trunk. So which is better? And talking about our own environment, like the weather conditions.
The thing is, it will depend on the kind of car you have.
Okay.
I mean, if you had a bus, right, it would most likely be better to be fitted, at the back under a seat. If you drove a saloon car, the trunk, you can't put it under the seat. So it all depends on the type of vehicle. That's what will determine the best place, the best position to fit the cylinder. At the end of the day, let us remember that everything is risk and everything, right? But we always look for the safest one. Now, the CNG itself, the gas, is so light. It is literally so light. If it escapes, it's literally evaporating. It's so light.
Okay.
And then the cylinder is so thick. It's actually a very, very slim chance of it, exploding or anything. Yes.
So why did we see that?
That brings me to the Edo incident.
Yeah.
When it happened, we thought that's not possible. And then my colleague, the regional coordinator for South was on the ground. He went there, found out, and then what he discovered was, first of all, let me take it. Edo State has been, a CNG state for a while. They didn't just start, so they know about it. But trust Nigerians. They decided, to cut corners. We can do this now. Well, there is not a cylinder, and we found out that they took an LPG cylinder, like the regular cooking gas cylinders, welded it, tried to fit it, and then they tried to fill it with CNG, and that's what caused the explosion. Right. Yes, that's exactly what happened. But when the news comes out like that, they're not going to tell you that. Oh yeah, CNG explodes. The buzz comes out. It's bad news, so it's going to fly. And that's what happened because we had guys on ground. We go out, what's going on here, because we know if you see a proper CNG cylinder, I don't think two people can move it. It is heavy. The other day I tried to kick it, and it was my leg that came back to me. The thing didn't move. It didn't move.
Right.
It didn't move at all. So, if you have your original kits and the original cylinders, you have this very minimal chance of any incident like that. Now let's even come down to the Malaysia one. They've been on CNG for years, right? For years, and for them it was okay. Do we, retrieve those cylinders and replace with new ones, or do we just phase it out? And they chose the latter.
Okay. Because we'll still come to regulations. I mean, you mentioned that it happened in Thailand as well. That was CNG. And what was said was, okay, there's a lifespan. 15 years, maybe, you have to change. And so what are the safety procedures, right? How are drivers, vehicle owners being educated on safe practices while using the CNG-powered vehicles? Because it's one thing to say switch, but there's no enlightenment education on how to be safe about these things. Yes.
So the first things first in terms of safety is just please go for the quality equipment, and which is what we have, which is what we're giving for free for the commercial vehicles.
Okay.
Right now you have CNG conversion centers that actually sell. I mean, they import kits and they sell. A verified center would not sell you a substandard kit, because they we have an agreement with every center, and we have asserted rules and all of that, the terms of agreement. And if you flout those terms of the agreement, that's it. We would practically just terminate the contract. It's as simple as that. We're very strict with things like that. So you would conform, you would comply with these things, because we're serious about it. Like I said earlier, it could be any of us. Now, one of the reasons why I haven't even done mine is there's a particular kit for my kind of vehicle, and it just came in. So I had to wait. I'm not going to use a kit that doesn't fit my car. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yes. But I want to, because I don't want to buy fuel fill up my tank for 140,000 every 3 days. It's not sustainable. Do you understand what I mean? It's not sustainable, and I move around a lot.
So how do people maintain this for persons who have converted?
So once you convert, sorry to cut you short enough. Once you convert, every conversion center has a center code.
Okay.
That way, it is traceable. Where was this conversion done? Or this kit is attached to this center. This is the center that did this conversion, in case there's any problem. But now, for any vehicle that converts, there's a center code. There's a sticker, right, that's put on your car to show that it's been converted and all of that. There's a date, right? Almost like your service. When you take your car for service. Exactly.
Okay.
That sticker that you put in your car, say, this is the next date for service. That's it. So after you convert, 3 months, go and just check it out. Just make sure that everything is still, in place. Nothing has shifted. Nothing has moved, and that's it.
So you say every 3 months?
Every 3 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And that brings me to who are those who are actually speaking about this when it comes to maintenance. We've heard more of switch maintenance. People have talked about the bad roads in Nigeria, right? Drivers and the rest. And so what are those things that you have to actually check, put in place? You've said 3 months, but what are the other things? Are you saying after 2 years, since maybe it's Nigeria, the bad roads, you need to change your tank in 2 years? What are those things that people actually need to do when it comes to maintenance and procedures?
Now, our verified centers are experts who would look at, when you take your cars back to them to check, say in the 3rd month after your first conversion, they'll check. They'll see if there's anything wrong with it or anything that needs to be, adjusted or fitted. That's why I said they would check everything down to the cylinders, make sure that nothing has shifted and everything is still in place. And after that, they'll let you know, okay, so we'll see you in another 3 months, or they say, do we need to change something here? Let's change this. Do you get? So, so those centers, our center partners, are on hand to actually advise vehicle car owners, on what to do in terms of safety. And that's why we need partners. That's why we keep, trying to sign up new people who will be able to assist, in this sensitization. We can't do it alone.
Okay.
We'll try as much as possible. We keep, singing it out and sharing the word. But at the end of the day, you're taking it back to a particular center. Those guys are on hand to advise on anything.
Okay. But this is where, people talk about the National Orientation Agency. Isn't this the part, where they come in, explain maybe the lifespan of these kids, how often you need to check this? Shouldn't they come in hand, especially with the fact that we've heard, switch, but, this other part. And so what are the persons responsible,
So the thing is, for now, it is the PCNGI that's handling it. We're still, taking on new partners to help and all of that. NADDC, we've partnered with them. So that's how come they're very strong in terms of, regulating stuff and all of that, making sure that, the centers don't have their certificates yet, their names are still being flagged, things like that. So we're still signing on new partners to come in to help. And I mean, that's the only way we can do. We can't sit back and just say, oh yeah, this is new, we're not going to do it. So we sit back and keep doing the same thing.
Okay, what regulatory bodies are monitoring, these companies that actually convert? Because it was one thing that brought in mind when we saw the Edo one. Okay, how did this happen? Where are the regulatory bodies? If you're saying this is substandard, how come this was able to be done? If we're saying that, I mean, it's just verified conversion centers that you should do this. And so what of those other persons who are not qualified to do this, but are doing this? The regulatory bodies should come in this aspect.
Yeah, I agree with you. Regulatory bodies will go after them, should go after them. But the thing is, you as a person shouldn't even be going to a 2x4 shack, on the side because they say that, oh, it's cheaper here and we can do it. And that's what causes problems. If you go to a center, and I keep stressing and emphasizing on it, verified, there's no way you would have issues. The reason why something like that happened in Edo was because people thought, hey, mind my fucking no be cylinder, we have a cylinder now and everything. You know, be cylinder we get for kitchen, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they just go there and weld it, and then boom, that happens.
And that's why I said, sorry to chip in at this point, this is where enlightenment comes in.
Yes.
Because people just know, oh, okay, it is cheaper. I can get it for 200 naira. And you just want to go and do it anywhere because you're not sure.
So that's why we keep trying to pass on the message. Say, listen, please, as much as, this is supposed to help, we don't want it to bring problems to you. Go to the verified ones. And for those who operate commercial vehicles, the taxis, the buses, go. It's free because we understand we're not going to be asking you to pay. So it's free. Go and get these things converted so that, things get better.
Okay. Okay, let me read out the numbers again. The number to call is 0913-5000-953. You can send a WhatsApp message to 0809-682-2595 if you have questions, regarding conversions of CNGs, if it's the safety, if you're talking about where to convert. Now is the time, to call in and ask your questions. We have Ms. Ogonna Onyemelukwe, who is from the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. You remember the president, doing that. And she's the Regional CNG Expansion Coordinator for the Southwest. So if you have questions on where to convert or talking about safety, do call in. And so still talking about regulatory bodies, who are those in charge, right? Persons will do their own. You can talk, but persons will still see maybe the cheaper one and decide to go there. On the part of the regulatory bodies, they should, then step in to ensure that, the persons who are not qualified, shouldn't be doing this. If it's, arresting them, I don't know what penalties, there are. And talking about these substandard kits as well, how are they monitored? That comes into the country? Is it just on the part of, is it the PCNGI bringing it in, or is it that anybody can basically, try to bring in this conversion kits?
So in terms of bringing in substandard kits, to be honest, I don't know of anybody who's doing it, but I know that Nigerians are so innovative. They would conjure and create, and do all of these things in the backyards. I mean, you have some really very intelligent Nigerians who will just sit and are able to mold stuff and make stuff, and next thing you say, oh yeah, this thing is working now. They probably tried it on one small engine. Oh, this is working now. And the next thing, you're not thinking of the safety, you're not thinking of the fact that you have lives that are going to be sitting in that car, in that vehicle. As far as you're concerned, this thing costs 1/10 of what I would have paid if I went to, this center, this verified center. What's the big deal? What's the worst that can happen? And then that happens. So you have like the Edo one now. Let me even refer back to it. When that incident happened, I told you we had our regional on ground. We had the police going after them because it was a serious thing. They had the police going after them. We had security agents actually going after them because they just click, just nip it in the bud at that time. We now got information later that it wasn't just that just happened. That they actually have like a a booming market on one side there, that people that just go there and construct stuff. So we had to send out security agents there. Unfortunately, I can't give the report on that because there's a regional for that, for that particular area. But yes, from what I gathered, with my colleague, I spoke to him later. Hey, what happened here? And then I heard all of those things. I just thought, wow, people are going to risk their lives because they want to cut corners.
So were they able to get?
Yes, they made a couple of, there's some things that never make it to the news, but they were able to make a couple of arrests and all that, and shut down that operation at that place. Yes. Yes.
I think these are the things that should actually make it to the news, so that people then.
How they always say it's the bad news that comes up and just stays. The good news will find its way at the bottom.
All right. Okay. Tony here on Instagram says that, how safe is it when CNG vehicles are in accidents?
Okay. Hi, Tony. Okay, so I had mentioned earlier the making of the cylinders. The cylinders are almost explosion proof. Like it would take a whole lot. They are so thick. So in terms of accidents, you've had people who collide and your cylinders at the back. It doesn't affect it. Or okay, let's even say somebody hits you, rear ends you from behind. Your cylinder is so fortified. It's the chances of it even is very slim.
It's very slim.
Yes. So yes, it is safe.
Okay. Another person says, this is Miriam. Where can I refuel my CNG vehicle? Because that's another thing.
Yes,
right?
I was going to come to that.
Yeah, filling stations.
So we have filling stations that have CNG as well. So apart from selling, the PMS and AGO, which is fuel and diesel, they actually sell CNG. We have a lot of NIPCO stations around. We have some other people who sell as well. But we've also identified that there's a lack there. There's a need for more of that, and that's why we're also even bringing in MRUs, which are mobile refueling units.
Okay.
Yes, to also aid in that. So they will be placed in certain strategic positions around the regions. We have 10 now. We have some that are still at the port and some that are still coming in. So like I said, it's work in progress, and we're doing these things one step at a time. You get? So yes, you can refill your CNG powered vehicles at stations, just like the conversion centers. We would have a list we would have a full list of CNG refueling stations, of course, which we will keep updating, but we'll have a full list bang on our website so that people can actually see it. I think it's very important.
It is very important, because if you're saying switch, then it should be easy also to
we have quite a bit in Lagos. We have in Ibadan, so like I said, we will just have that, stated out so people can see.
Okay. Yeah. And so how much if you want to convert a car?
Okay, so it varies.
Okay.
The prices vary because the price of the kits vary as well. And that's also dependent on the type of, boils down to that whole engine type and all of that. You're not going to pay the same thing to convert a Toyota Corolla. You're not going to pay the same thing for a Toyota Corolla to now convert like a Lexus SUV. Now, there's two different kits and all of that.
Okay.
So, the pricing will be between maybe between 1.2 and 1.8, depending on the cost of the kits and then of course labor.
Okay.
Yes.
So is the government doing anything for persons who probably want to convert? Because yes, we know it's cheap, right? 200 naira or more, but to convert it, you're talking about money. And some persons might say, oh, I do not have this money. I'd rather buy fuel
think about
than convert.
But if you think about it, in the long run, if you convert your vehicle for this, this amount, in the long run, you'll be saving, because you will now be spending about 7,000, 6,000 to fill up your tank.
Yeah, which is. But for persons who cannot afford this, is the government doing anything? Because I know about the CAM funds or. Yeah. Okay. So is the government doing anything about that?
So, like I keep stressing, it is one step at a time.
Okay.
And for the government, the focus was commercial vehicles first. And that's why we're doing it for free for them. Now, moving along, there might be some extra incentives for, the regular, persons that want to convert their private vehicles. Yes. But for now, our focus was commercial.
Okay. So hopefully we get there for persons, but you said for commercial.
But commercial is free.
How then do we see the affordability when it comes to transportation? Because there are buses that have been converted, and there were some that were launched and given to persons. But some persons have said, well, we've not seen this in the reduction of transportation. So is there any enforcement you're also giving? Okay, I mean, this is how much transportation should be.
So I'm glad you actually brought that up. In Abuja, we had a partnership, or we have a running partnership now with the taxi drivers, the airport taxi drivers, right?
Okay.
So don't forget that we're converting for all of them, but we went to the airport guys because we realized, okay, when you land in Abuja, you're coming into Abuja, transportation from the airport to city is expensive, right? We got their price list, and we did the whole computation for them. So listen, if you buy at this, of course, this is how much you're charging people, right? If we convert for you guys for free, and you buy a CNG for this,
okay,
this is what you charge. So this is how much you're going to end up saving. And they were pleased with it. And so right now we have a running partnership with them, with the taxi drivers association in the Abuja airport.
Okay.
So from 40,000, we convert the car for free. They charge you 20,000, 25, literally half the price. Any car that's converted has the sticker. So it's now left you. I mean, of course, there's going to be some people who say, what, I don't want to convert. No problem. Do what you want to do. So if I get into Abuja airport and I want to get a car, I see the one with the sticker. I know that this is how much I'm going to. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that agreement between us and them.
Okay. So would we see, it trickle down to?
Yes, we are in talks now with the airport association as well in Ibadan, and then we brought it down to Lagos. We're still discussing. We're still on that level of, okay, hey, this is what we don't with your guys in Abuja. This is how we can do it for you.
Okay.
Yes. So we're at that stage.
Okay. What about, especially for the road, since at the end of the day, the affordability is for the masses, people who cannot afford.
Yes.
And so I think that I want to take a bus from maybe the island to the mainland. You should be able to see that reflect.
Reflection, yes. So it is slow.
Okay.
And we will do what we can. We're pushing. We are literally on them 24/7. Trying to get these things done and all of that. But it will be done.
Okay.
Just give it a bit of time. It's one step at a time. We've started out this amazing initiative, and we're working towards it. Yes, it will be done.
Okay. I know you mentioned the standard organizations of Nigeria, for all the other regulatory bodies, especially when you see situations like this. Yes, we'll have to wrap up. Where we see situations like this, right, and centers where these people are not qualified, and you want to report that situation.
Sorry, I think that again.
I was talking about the regulatory bodies.
Yes.
Can we know those regulatory bodies aside the standard organization of Nigeria? And are there numbers to call, or again, is it this regulatory bodies that you can report situations like this when you see maybe a center that's not qualified to actually do this?
Okay. What I'm going to do, so usually in terms of things like that, when anything is put, our technical team just takes it up and then what. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that we have all of this info on our website. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
I need to speak to our PR team, let them put these things up so that when people even see, because at the end of the day, we need everybody on board for this thing to work. It's not just us, because it affects every one of us across board. So if, for example, even if I didn't work with them and I saw something that wasn't right, I should be able to report it to say, hey, listen, this is not right, So we're going to do that. We're going to have those things, placed, put up in the website so that people can see.
Okay, can you share with us how much was budgeted, for this
Yeah.
initiative? How much has been spent? This is something that people.
I know.
Okay,
I don't have this figures.
As we wrap up,
I don't
okay,
have this figures.
okay,
But trust me, what the president wants is for this thing to work. Yes. So we can't fail on it.
yeah.
We can't.
I know I saw for 500 billion somewhere,
No,
but I just wanted to hear.
fail. I know we can't fail. No.
Okay, as we wrap up now, again, what's your parting shot to persons out there, who want to probably convert and are scared, just convert because of the safety again?
Okay. So I would just like to say that when you decide to convert your vehicle, please go to a verified center. That is the first step. Go to a verified center. We have amazing, brilliant, conversion centers, that will do a fantastic job,
Okay.
And then a parting shot, rest assured, CNG is inherently safer than liquid fuels because of the very light nature. So when people, stress and say, oh no, it's gas, it is so light, the chances of it, flaring it dissipates so quickly because of how light it is. Remember that we can't keep complaining about something and then we keep doing the same thing, expecting change. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You've promised us that you'd update it on the
We would
website
update it.
so that
We would
persons
update it
can.
for sure.
Yeah.
We would update it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Ogonna Onyemelukwe, the Regional CNG Expansion Coordinator of the Southwest, for being on the program today and, shedding more light on this matter. And you've said it's safe. And so we can always hold you responsible.
I'm here.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the program. We do appreciate your time. And that's it on Energy Watch today. Thank you so much for staying tuned and listening.